Hi, I'm Nisha, and I'm going to introduce our group's design solution today. Our presentation is called Hara India. Hara means green in Hindi, which is one of the main languages in India, and one of our main goal of our design solution is to help India go green. So here are the contents of our presentation. I'm going to work on the introduction and context, and then I will pass it along to Alex. So our chosen sustainable goal, we actually chose two of them. We chose reduced inequalities and sustainable cities and communities. Our group really was passionate about both of these, and we thought that they could go hand in hand because sustainability is often lacking in communities that are more impoverished. So we wanted them to be able to experience the sustainable design solution to help them with their day-to-day life. The chosen location is Mumbai, India, which is one of the largest cities of imbalance. We wanted to look deeper into that, and we picked the community of Dharvi, Mumbai. In the next image in this slide, this is the image of the community Dharvi, and it is very alarming how economically distant the wealthy and the impoverished are, but how physically close they are in this photo. So I just want to go ahead and share a few important facts about this area. As you can see from the image to the right, it is very congested. A lot of the houses are very close together, which leads to an unhygienic and lack of sanitation in the environment. They also lack drinking facilities with clean water, and there's quite a bit of waste that gets circulated through this area as well. There is an estimated 18,000 people per acre of land, and it is growing very, very quickly. One of the reasons we wanted to focus on this area is because while it is growing and it does have an economic engine with about 15,000 single room workshops, because the businesses within this community are the livelihoods of the individuals. So because of this, they're already creating day-to-day life materials for the community, and they have a massive recycling industry because of that. So we want to help them take that to the next level. And we thought that they would be a good community to focus on since they already do have a very good recycling industry and recycling measures. So we thought implementing a sustainable design system within this area would have a positive impact on the livelihoods of the individuals and their economy. So I just wanted to highlight the two images that are at the bottom of this slide. This showcases their recycling measures that they already have within the community. To the left is plastic and to the right is cardboard, but currently it takes quite a bit of manual labor. So we wanted to create a system that would help ease some of the labor for them. So one of our main aims for this project was that it was community independent and that our project could function both effectively as a short-term and long-term installation across a variety of locations and contexts. The community itself would run and maintain the space, and it would work as an educational aspect, as well as helping the community and their economy grow through the sustainable design implementation.
The conceptual approach we took was focused on a design that was self-sustaining and community-based, and we looked to the UN framework for contributions to poverty across the world before focusing on India. It became evident early on that women are predominantly more likely to live in poverty than men, and that numerous reflections identify lifting women out of poverty as a strong step in addressing poverty as a whole. After examining that, we selected the following precedents to look at more closely: Precious Plastics, the Hippo Water Roller, Copenhagen, and Little Sun. All four of these precedents appealed to us as they are community-based sustainability initiatives. Precious Plastics is an award-winning initiative towards recycling, specifically plastic. Precious Plastics is particularly notable due to the fact they enable global communities to create a program that fits their requirements and scale. This appealed to our goal of flexibility and adaptability, as well as integration into the community. We also like the fact that Precious Plastics treated plastic as a resource and not simply a waste product. Our second precedent is the Hippo Roller, a barrel device developed to allow people in Africa to transport water in a safe and effective way. The simplistic design of the Hippo Roller, with the vessel also being the wheel, is both incredible and thoughtful design, eliminating the need for anything that needs to be manufactured unnecessarily. We found this precedent particularly fascinating due to the potential to expand into agricultural integration and distribution, as well as recycling used rollers into new ones. Our third precedent was the Little Sun solar light, designed to bring light to those who had no access to electricity and to communities using dangerous fuel to light their homes. Little Sun is printed from recycled ABS, can provide between 4 and 50 hours of light per 5-hour charge, and as a design, Little Sun is a successful one, self-sustaining for its 5-year lifespan. The adaptability and simplicity of its design met many of our criteria, and whilst we questioned the ways we could reconceptualize it, such as using plant-based PLA rather than simply recycled ABS, we discovered that, like the Hippo Roller, these designs already fit the criteria and we could not improve or remix them beyond what already exists. Our final precedent is that of Copenhagen, a waste-to-energy power plant that converts 400,000 kilos of waste annually into clean energy. Beyond that, Copenhagen was designed to integrate into the community in a public space. The slope design boasts hiking trails and a ski run designed on the outside, allowing community engagement with a space that would typically be considered light industrial and unused by the general public. These precedents all informed our final design decision through their adaptive nature, their focus on the community. Precious Plastics was a strong influence with their focus on plastic as a resource and combining both technology and community into their model. The Hippo Roller and Little Sun showed how everyday items and innovations can make enormous changes for a community and open the door to education, long-term sustainability, and strengthen self-sustaining local industry. Copenhagen, whilst beyond the scale of what we aspired to achieve, it was a prime example of integrating waste management into the community in a way that was aesthetically pleasing, engaging, and practical. It was these principles that set the tone for our redesign.
I will be taking you through the initial redesign process. We're looking at user research, conceptual framework, and the initial design proposition. All right. So Hara India's fundamental principles are to assist in lifting women out of poverty, improving access to vital items and education, and to create a program that is self-sustaining and relevant on a global scale. But how did we get to these goals? We created some personas. The creation of personas is an essential element in human-centered design, and as it generates a deeper understanding of the user's needs. These fabricated personas give us insight into the potential pain points of our users and allow us to design for or around them. Based on our persona research, our redesign needs to be accessible to those with few literacy skills, should aim to aid the impoverished economically, and be flexible enough to fit around people's existing lifestyles. Our initial concepts focused on creating spaces for 3D manufacturing within a generalized impoverished community. Before we realized we were essentially replicating the original premise of Precious Plastics. We examined the possibility of a pop-up, however, the lack of long-term or permanent installation ultimately minimized the effects that project might have had. Therefore, we moved to a design based on a vending machine, which might aid in the collection of recyclable plastic and the distribution of objects made from recycled plastic. Our ideas for these objects were centered around our conceptual framework, offering education and safety for the women of Derby. We ultimately moved away from a group of product designs, pens, rulers for educational tools, a light for safety, and a water bottle, which would populate the vending machine, and instead decided to focus on designing a system, one which would reflect our conceptual framework, the needs of the community, and the long-term viability of the project. So our initial design proposition, or our design response, we decided to draw on all 4 of our precedents in our redesign, as we believe that the fundamental principles of sustainability and alleviating poverty are reflected in all the designs. Both the Hippo Roller and the Little Sun can be incorporated into spaces like Precious Plastics, whilst Copenhagen can be considered a large-scale success at integrating industrial sustainability into community-faced locations. To recap, our target audience is women located in vulnerable communities that lack sustainable resources for day-to-day life. Our design proposition is to create a self-sufficient system combining previous frameworks that can provide sustainable products for the impoverished to economically benefit from, whilst simultaneously taking care of the environment.
Having a visual identity for any brand is an extremely important foundational element, and this often starts with the creation of a logo and the color palette. So up at the top, we have our 2 logos. The primary logo is more graphic, and the alternate logo has more of the typography. So as I stated earlier in the presentation, Hara means green in Hindi, which is one of the main languages in India. And so our logo was a representation of Green India with our sustainable design solution.
Amongst our branding suite, we have reusable bags, business cards, and posters. For our poster design, we wanted something that was eye-catching, informative, and adaptive. For the first poster design on the left, we based it around the concept of starting a conversation regarding 2 of the main principles of Hara India, plastic waste and poverty amongst women. The conversation concept was reinforced by the initials of Hara India spelling out the word hi. We felt that this was a good entry point, friendly, factual, and focusing on neutral and uplifting language to set a tone. We then chose QR codes to further engage our audience due to the widespread use of smartphones in India, with approximately 600 million smartphones in use as of 2021. The educational poster design on the right uses small colored icons to grab attentions, summarizing Hara India's system in a simple way for maximum engagement. Both of these posters were designed with the green at the bottom to represent land and sustainability, with the dark brown at the top for high contrast with the use of green in the word Hara. Both of these posters can be adapted into flyers for maximum accessibility. For our website design, we wanted something that provided a clean, straightforward user experience that focused on women behind Hara and the community that Hara India builds. We drew from the green and brown tones of the logo again to create a distinctive contrasting palette that reinforces the colours and tones of India and the landscape, as well as shades of green to reinforce the message of sustainability. A fully developed website would have 10 pages covering all aspects of the business in an easy and accessible manner to reinforce transparency and offer 3 layers of involvement for participation and education: a summary, a detailed outline, and then the ability to join. This user experience was designed intentionally to allow users and prospective participants a full overview of what to expect as a way to instill confidence and trust in Hara India from the first point of access.
Thank you, Alex. I will then go into more detail about the final design. The entire hub has a shaped structure. The inlet side layer is lower, extends to the inner side. This makes it, in an artistic sense, also for the hub value is that it's from small to large. This is the process of turning a lot of worthless rubbish into green and useful products. Interior design guides the audience in reverse time-oriented, each passing washing space, sorting space, gallery, and workshop. The internal decoration of hub includes exhibition boards. The table, the cabinets, and so on are compressed by synthetic plastic material. As a major multi-purpose recovery hub, plastic can be converted into a myriad of useful items for the whole. By selecting extraction, injection molding, or compressing one of these 3D printing methods, residents can produce bowls, cups, shelves, pens, sewing tools, and flash flags. Hub provides educational space, encouraging women to understand plastics recycling and their value for them and the community, and the potential to obtain job opportunities in miniature center. Gallery space demonstrates various 3D printing products. Although these products are small daily necessities, the final goal of the center is to expand the manufacturing of furniture and building materials, and extend it to the potential other than plastics. Mini Hub is located in school, community space, enterprise, or family. These are small female teams for sales space to make items, allowing them to engage with the community in practice and the processes outside of formal spaces. The entire production process starts from the user to put the collected waste into the recycling screening machine. They are stored in the recovery storage tank after sorting and cleaning the pool. Next, the injection, extraction, or compression is performed in accordance with the user's demand for the product. And more large or need to assemble the product to be completed by the last machine. In theory, these machines could be simplified and put into use in schools, which could educate children to the concept of sustainability. We hope that Hub can create a wide range of attractions, so in addition to operational areas, gallery and workshop are also immersed in the sustainable influence in audience. Gallery will show more potential plastic product supply visits. In workshop space, they will regularly organize the sustainable activities of lecture education. And there is also opportunities to invite audience to participate in making reproduced products.
Thank you, Enting. So this prototype is for the vending machine element of the recycling system. The model is made at 1/10 scale from cardboard, wood, and recycled plastic, and it demonstrates the way one of these machines might work. Some of the features include a hand-cranked shredder to reduce energy needs, a mechanical color sorting system, and removable storage containers. Here's a short video of the prototype working. The hand crank hopper, of course, would need some safety features, and then the removable storage. Here's our journey map of what might happen with the vending machine plastic shredder. A user would collect, sort, and wash their plastic, locate a machine, crank the shredder to process the plastic, and then the weight of that plastic would be converted into a monetary value for the plastic collector. The filled containers would then be collected by another member of the community who would pass this raw material onto the workshop.
The process of designing Hara India has been one that has given us significantly deeper understanding of sustainability, the knowledge, research, and considerations that go into designing for communities, and how technology is being harnessed to make positive long-term changes across the world. Overall, we feel like Hara India has enormous potential at addressing plastic waste in India and making recycling and sustainability profitable and attainable for impoverished communities, as well as laying the groundwork to improve the education and employment of women in the area. Due to the nature of designing a system rather than simply a space or product, our primary weakness and what we would consider one of the next steps in the process is to physically visit the location where we would base Hara India, Mumbai, to confirm its viability. However, beyond that, we would think the next steps to take would be to continue to develop our prototype shredder and begin developing 3D print product designs. Ultimately, we believe that the strengths of Hara India are found in its accessibility, flexibility, and the potential to scale it both up and down depending on the final requirements. We are confident with the continued opportunity to refine the design of Hara India, and that we believe ultimately this will be highly successful and effective. Thank you.